Those cups, the toys, that cool ass Sega game that was like a side scroller. At that point, I was like, this is real life.
Add that Batman game to the list.
I'm mesmerized. Is that an anarchy symbol on your jacket? Metallica and white out on your jacket? Oh my God, you're cool. I mean, Owen does tell the crowd, he's like, from here on out, you're going to call me the King of Hearts. They're in the Rocket's dead. All right.
Happened in the 90s.
Shaka Khan,
Shakar
the
Chaquan.
beautiful woman, but whoever that is, Captain Shakan or whatever, I'm not even giving him that credit, but it's just a dumb game they're playing. And eventually they won't be able to play it anymore. So whatever like shit can place that they're like living in, stealing YouTube pages, it's just crumbling around them, Steve. They're living in their own personal hell because they can't create anything. They can't actually make
What do you
anything.
get out of
So
it?
they're like, let's
Seriously.
just steal it. It's very Donald Trump, if I'm being honest. It's very like of that like kind of business person. Like I can't do a thing, so I'll just buy it or steal it.
I mean, it's not even about political, man.
I've never
And we're
stolen
not.
somebody's intellectual property in that way. It's always been fair use, Steve. When I play a WWF theme song, it's not so I can steal the credit. It's to give credit to the source material. I'm not taking and going,
Of course.
I made Sexual Chocolate's theme song. I wrote that. That's my voice. Can't you hear it? That actually was pretty fucking good.
That's the whole purpose of the show.
Some guys over yonder, over the Atlantic, someplace in the middle. Let's just keep it vague, but just chilling someplace, you know, where shit goes down a lot and stealing YouTube pages. Because to be honest with you, Steve, here's what I think. They have some kind of crippling addiction to just paying people to them in the ass. And it costs a lot of money and the medical bills are starting to pile up too. So I think these guys are just like trying to survive. So, you know, it is what it is.
Is that what those donkey shows are?
I think it is. They
Uh,
have Dick Day down yonder, wherever they're from, in Azerbia or wherever. I'm making up country names, but it's something like that. You know, it is what it is. So they got to get those American dollars by stealing YouTube pages of all things. But we got it back. So, you know, they're going to have to fist them each other. And they've probably been doing that for a while. So, you know, to Shakar Shakan and Farzing Hob Jingad or whatever we got it back.
Steve G and Matt G with Happened in the 90s, a show where we talk about what happened in the 90s. So whip out your Dick Tracys and your Harlem Beat do-rags because it's Matthew and Steven G is our name, but our game is hit 90s. All you hackers in the world got to get a grip because Faison Javid is considered a bitch. Wake up, wake up.
Oh! You hear that face on, Javon?
Today, my friend, we're talking all things June 19th in the 90s. Happy Juneteenth, by the way. Starting off in 1992, Batman Returns premieres. While Batman deals with the deformed man calling himself the Penguin, wreaking havoc across Gotham with the help of a cruel businessman, a female employee of the latter becomes the Catwoman with her own vendetta. Directed by Tim Burton, starring Michael Keaton, Danny DeVito, Michelle Pfeiffer, Christopher Walken, Michael Gough, Michael Murphy, and Paul Rubens.
Banger alert.
Don DeMarco.
We got the first one. It was a hit. It was a classic. Tim Burton nailed it. And
Yeah.
we're getting classic Tim Burton still. It's not this shit that's coming out recently. No offense, Tim, but I'm not feeling it.
Yeah.
Something different. Something happened. But this is still it. We're getting the vibe. The marketing for this was just so dialed in too because they got the kids immediately with the McDonald's shit.
With the toys.
Those cups, the toys, that cool ass Sega game that was like a side scroller. At that point, I was like, this is real life.
Add that Batman game to the list.
Yeah, dude. That
Uh,
game is the shit. I'll be honest. I don't give that too much credit, but Batman Returns the game, that was a banger, Steve.
the cool cartoon was right around the corner, man. Like, so they had us. They figured us out as 80s babies slash 90s kids.
We knew what was coming and they delivered. That's like a debate like what's the best? Is it Empire Strikes Back? Is it this or that and the other? This is one of the best sequels ever
Yeah,
made, especially for like a comic book property, dude. They tried Superman sequels, they all sucked. And DeVito is the perfect villain, but there's too much confusion with the villains. Like, because there's him, but Christopher Walken's a schemer guy, and Christopher Walken looks like a fucking Muppet in this. He looks insane.
he does. And
He looks
Tim
like he was
Burton was actually
electrocuted.
afraid to hire him on because he's frightening. And I get it.
I go to Tim. I say, I got this thing up my ass. He says, okay. I did hear a funny story about Christopher Walken that he does, I guess, a lot because it's been told a lot. But he'll look sad on a movie set randomly and let people like see him visually looking sad until somebody walks up to him and they're like, "What's wrong?" He'll just lie to these people, be like, it's nothing really. It's my birthday." And nobody said anything. So invariably, like people will bring him cake and stuff. And I guess this happened to Sean William Scott when he was on that Rundown movie set. And Christopher Walken told him that, and then later in the day, he saw Christopher Walken being like "Happy Birthday" sung to and getting a cake. And Christopher Walken like looked over to him and like winked, and I guess that's his thing. Steve, he's an actor. He's a good liar, I guess. So that's cool, but probably not fun to work with, especially when he looks like he was electrocuted 5 minutes ago. You
And
know.
can't forget Michelle Pfeiffer too, man. Like, talking about villains, this movie had two great villains. And I guess you could throw Christopher Walken in there too because he was scummy.
I mean, Michelle Pfeiffer walks that line of kind of not being a villain in this. It's vague, but this is the best portrayal of that character, too. I mean, all of the
Now,
portrayals, say what you want about any penguin that's existed, like Burgess Meredith or Colin Farrell, who nailed it recently. I mean, this looks like some shit from a comic book. He doesn't look like a real thing.
yeah,
It plays it as only Danny DeVito could in the most disgusting way possible, which I love.
scary nasty. And he stayed in character in between takes. I guess he went method with
Oh
this.
my god. He's just spitting black shit at you. Just throw him a sardine. Just throw him some fish. He's in right now. He's method.
You just couldn't miss with this combo. Tim Burton, Michael Keaton.
Everything's cool. Like the intro where they show Penguin's like creation and it's Paul Rubens as his dad. They just pulled everything off great. There was not a lot of like, here's the beginning of everything and like it's all done really well. It's paced really well. And Michelle Pfeiffer is fucking sexy as fuck as soon as she turns into Catwoman. It's just like this very slutty, just
Like,
hot, violent. The ending, the only thing I think that what really cinches this is like not as good as the first one is the ending. There's a lot of great sequences, but I mean, it's comic booky and it's, it is that, but I don't know. The ending was not my favorite. I'll
Yeah.
be
I
honest.
mean, I don't know. I still have it at the top of the heap, man.
The first two Batmans, the ones that Tim Burton did, there's nothing wrong with them. Don't change them. Don't like they could have stopped there and it would have been a huge success. And then there's been great Batman movies since, but yeah, dude, the first two and this one like Batman Returns, like I said, it did something that's really hard to do, especially back then, is get people hyped for something and then like deliver on that in the ultimate way. So in that way, yes. And then we also got all the badass merch, all the cups. I still got the Penguin cup where he's riding like the
I,
big duck thing from
I would
McDonald's.
say
That's
it's
dope.
in my top 5 of summer blockbusters. Not just the 90s, but of all time because of all of what you said.
I don't know if I put a lot of thought to it, but in terms of like, yeah, summer blockbusters back then, yeah. In my head, I kind of thought this came out in like the fall or something. I guess maybe just because of the vibe of it. It seems like kind of like a Halloween
Yeah.
movie or like a fall movie, but yeah, dude, nailed it. And then Tim Burton just, I don't know what happened. Like, it got less dark and more like fancy and
He's lost.
I don't know, it's not my thing. It wasn't my 100% my thing ever, but with the Batmans it's like you became a fan and then after that I was like, all right, dude, Nightmare Before Christmas. I'll take that. I'm into
Around that
that.
time,
That's
he
a good
kind of
one.
lost his way. That following year, 1993, Clarissa Explains It All is airing season 4, episode 6, Boy Thoughts. Clarissa explains the thought processes of boys. Ferguson talks Clarissa's boyfriend into co-hosting his public access TV show.
Dude, I didn't know Clarissa was into
Oh, okay.
chuds, Steve.
Clifford.
Clifford. All right, dude. You got Sam climbing a ladder to get to your ass like fucking Romeo, and you're going out with Clifford, the fucking
Explain
big
this,
red
Clarissa.
douche. I'd like to hear some thoughts about that. What I do realize in this, Steve, is what we do see about Ferguson in this is he's going to be a great, like, some kind of TV producer because this motherfucker gets results to me. We need to hire him for the podcast to get sponsorship and stuff. This guy's on it, and he's all he has is a weird manifesto that he's printing in his basement and a public access TV show with
He
a
hits the
chud.
ground running. And Clarissa, she's explaining the 3 different parts of the boy's brain. There's the cerebottomless pitiless, the inarticulus major. That's when a guy is saying something different from what he thinks, I guess. And then the hyperlocomotus, when the guy is flying, he's jumping, playing air guitar, air humping.
And throwing a little DX in there, a little DX chop. And her hypothesis, when she's examined all of these things, is that when boy brains come in close contact, Steve, the
Yeah.
intelligence level just dips. And in some cases, I can understand that. But Clarissa, you're going out with Clifford, okay? Na 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 na
Na, 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 na,
na.
na, 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 na.
Do it.
We come back and we see Clarissa and Olivia talking. And doing my research, I found something very interesting. Olivia, played by Nicole Rochelle, was one of Rudy's buddies on the Cosby Show. But Matt, you might recognize her for something more recent. In 2018, as Bill Cosby was approaching the entryway of the courthouse, a female approached and hopped over the rail to get to Cosby, and she was topless. And she had words written all over. She
What?
had a wild throw. She had names on her back. I don't know if you remember that in the news, but yeah, this was when like all that was going down. Olivia.
Olivia getting some justice with fucking the cause. Well, in this episode, Steve, what they're doing is much more sinister, and it's raiding the boys. You know, it's pretty typical girl stuff here. But then Ferguson comes in. He's been writing his thoughts on like this paper, like self printing and putting it in the school. Nobody's reading it, Steve. Nobody's hearing what he's saying. Nobody's understanding the manifesto.
Yeah. And then right after that, Clifford comes in. Clifford Spleenherfer. Apparently, he spends all of his school time at the bike rack as other students are asking him questions. He's like the Fonz at this high school where he can show you where to get brass knuckles, get a unlicensed gun if you need one.
Where do I get a fake ID, Clifford? Oh, here's one. Hey, where do I put this dead hooker, Clifford? It's just constant, Steve. These kids won't shut up.
And already bells are ringing in Ferguson's head. He's just like, hey, this dude's got the juice. I think we could do something with that.
The je ne sais quoi, if you will. Listen to this. I'm mesmerized. Is that an anarchy symbol on your jacket? Metallica and whiteout on your jacket? Oh my God, you're cool.
You smoke with cigarettes?
I took my grandma car because I got mad at my mom, and then I suddenly had my friend come in, and he smokes with cigarettes.
You do bad kid stuff, dude?
Because it's fun. It's fun to do bad things.
Hell yeah. Ferguson, obviously, he's a businessman, Steve. We see this in this whole episode. The wheels are turning, and then we cut to later. Clifford's eating another sandwich. He's
After eating a whole pizza.
Yeah, this guy he's a monster, and he's going to other people's houses perpetrating this shit, which I don't like. But he's eating a sandwich. Ferguson comes in and is like, I did it. I got a show. That's surprising in and of itself. But turns out Ferguson finagled a public access TV show, or at least is in the process of doing so. And he's got his eye on a little talent, Steve, in the room.
Yeah, he wants Clifford on the show and starring his 3B Entertainment. Then that means big, big, big entertainment.
You're gonna be big, baby. Big. He's saying all the Hollywood shit too. He's like, just imagine all the sandwiches you can eat, kid.
Parking spot for your bike rack.
Yeah, dude. Those 3Bs, it's a lot to say, you know. Clifford's ears they're perking up. And then when he offers some free donuts and babes on top of that, it's a done deal, Steve. He's going to sign that dotted line every time, and that's what happens. Clifford signs. God knows what's in that contract that Ferguson wrote up. He probably signed a few things over that he didn't realize. And then they just go off to discuss the future and leave Clarissa in the kitchen just talking to herself, basically. I mean, she always does that. She talks to us as the audience, but, it's not a good look, Cliff.
It's all a go though. And now they're rehearsing in Ferguson's room, I guess. And at first, Clifford, he's camera shy. After a while, he just starts freestyling with it. And he asks, why does spit hang out your mouth just before it hits your sister? Slurp it back up. It should be an organized sport.
Yeah. Everyone's watching this. Ferguson's parents are in the room. Clarissa's in the room. After they say cut, everyone's like, yeah, that's good stuff, man. The parents just leave out of disgust. And then Clarissa walks up to Clifford. He says, what do you think? And she goes, well, to be honest with you, I think this is probably going to ruin your life. Basically,
Yeah.
you got to stop.
Have you thought about how this is going to make you look? It's like, what do you mean? Like, I mean, I'm just saying, like, you kind of come off as a tool.
You just admitted to having sex with pillows on air. Okay, Cliff, we can't have this. And I'm going out with you. So she says that, but then he's like, yeah, whatever. Ferguson told me that you ladies don't want guy opinions out here. He's saying the truth here. So he's in, they start watching the playback. him and fucking Ferguson just go to the screen. They're like, yeah, the spit thing, it was good.
That's a keeper.
That, I like the energy. And then we cut to the whenever. I don't know what the time lapse is here, but it's the actual show, Steve. What they were shooting must have been an audition tape. It looked like a porno set. It was very low budge. But now the show's in full effect. They got the set. It's a pretty nice, like, little daytime talk show setup, and it's called Boy Thoughts, Steve.
And I don't like Ferguson's shirt. It bothers me with that collar and that tie. I want to strangle him.
It's the Wizards, like, liaison or something. Whatever.
First victim.
Hey, is that a kid?
You know what? I don't want to put that kind of smut on Mr. Wizard's name. You don't deserve that.
Mr. Wizard was a ledge, dude. He didn't touch any kids. He just showed us how to burn shit.
But Clifford, again, he's camera shy. Ferguson asks, so what's on your mind? Soup. You can't chew it. You can't drink it. What's up with that? He just turns into Jerry Seinfeld.
You know what grinds my gears? Soup. Fucking Stevie, Cowboys get a shout out here because he's like, another thing. Star Trek crew, they seem pretty tough, but could they beat the Dallas Cow? It's a very like the Bears conversation.
Right.
Would it be Captain Picard or Ditka, Steve?
And girls, let's talk about that. Why do they always giggle so much? Like some cackling hens. Why do they all go to the mall in packs? Do they get a discount for that shit?
I mean, that's a good question. But then Ferguson unleashes the bomb, Steve, because this is where the genius comes in. He's a little Jerry Springer. He's like, yeah, that's all great. Let's bring it back here a little bit. Let's do some hypotheticals. Let's say that you had a girlfriend. Let's say her name was Clarissa, and she had a friend named Bolivia. Hypothetically, what if they made a list of all the guys in the class and rated them? Would you call them boneheads? And he would, Steve. He would. And he actually has the list. So when they cut, I like the little, like, what you have to do, like, when you're on air, like, when they're going, like, cutting the credits, and you have to act like you're doing something. So they pull it open. They're like,
yeah.
Bitch, C minus? That guy's fucking bodied up. What? But Ferguson, he did it, Steve. And then we cut to Clarissa's room. Boy Thoughts is a thing now, Steve. It's a vibe.
She gives us the whole layout of the weekly schedule. Like Tuesday, they're cola connoisseurs. On Wednesday, he gives sound advice to the fans. My brother farted in my face. What should I do? And then Thursday, personal growth day. What happens, man, when I'm always dreaming about sleeping? I'm always late for the school bus and I don't have any pants on.
What he says is the answer to that. And this is very dynamic thinking, Steve, is just make it happen. So someday he's just going to do that. He's going to run to school with his pants off so he doesn't have the dream anymore. You might be going to jail after that, my friend, because that's assault, brother. You know what? It's pretty prescient thinking. And then on Friday, they just set an action figure on fire and shot it across the sound stage, Steve, which Very Mr. Wizard, if we're calling back to that, to be honest
Or
with you. I love that experiment. I did it a lot. So
or Tom Green.
sucking on some udders. But the shit's popping off. Then we cut to later. Clarissa and Olivia, they're outside. They're talking. They're shooting the shit. Clifford walks by, and it's not about like, hey, Clarissa, what's up? You're my girlfriend. It's, hey, what shirt should I wear on the next episode of Douche Talk? And they get into a conversation because Clarissa's sort of like over it now, throwing a little like shade at him. He's like, what, are you mad about something? She's like, yeah, how you're acting.
You've been
Also,
hanging out with Ferguson this whole time, and like y'all don't even look right together. You like sauerkraut and pizza, and dude is like, I eat both of those. What's the problem?
yeah.
Well, stop hanging out with my brother. You got to make a decision. And he's like, oh yeah, I'll think about that. Ferguson comes outside like, hey man, it's time to shoot. All right, see you, Clarissa.
Bye. Time to get some of those free donuts and puss that I get. She's done though, Steve. This is it. Ferguson plus anything equals shit. So she's already over it, but this guy is a fucking chud. But she's still not over him completely. So we cut to the kitchen, and Clarissa's talking to her mom. She's like, what's the difference between boys and girls, mom? She says something like that. And the mom immediately thinks that this is just like the sex. So she's like, well, when men and women love each other very much. She's like, no, we've already talked about that. I know where it goes. But why are they so dumb? You know, and she goes through that whole thing. And basically, the end of the conversation is like, should I even give this guy a second chance? Like, do you believe that that's something you should do? And the mom, like, I don't really even think she was listening. She's like, yeah, give him a chance.
Maybe he'll be something that you'll like eventually one day. This is when she's doing her dream sequence, when she's like imagining them having their own Tonight Show.
Yes.
They're interviewing a monkey.
Yeah, it
That
looks
was
like shit. That's her horror show, though. She's like, it's going to go here, and then I'm going to get left in the dust, and fucking Clifford's going to be the host of the new Tonight Show, hanging out with my bro. So she's not loving it. So she wants to go confront him at the show. She actually asked him to meet her there, and he's late. So she's pissed off already. She's like, where is this fucking guy? Ferguson's like, well, I got like 15 sponsors here. We got a show to shoot, and we don't got all this time for this hen squawking outside. So why don't you guys shove off?
He's got some puppy chow called Puppo.
He's got so many sponsors, Steve, that before they're actually shooting it, he has to do pre-taped ads. So he's like, you know what? I don't got time to be talking to you guys. I'm going to go shoot these ads. So he starts shooting Puppo ads. So Clifford, he's got the script. But the script, Steve, looks kind of familiar. It looks like something we saw at the beginning of the episode. Clarissa looks at it, and it turns out what the script is now, Steve, is Fergwad's like weird manifesto that he's been writing. It's his shit. It's the Ferg thoughts. It's not boy thoughts, Steve.
He's wising up now, and he's basically just like, you want to use me for my clout, for my status, for my je ne sais quoi?
I'm out. You can't do a show without Johnny Carson, baby. So he's out, and Ferguson's like, well, I don't need you. I'm Ferguson. So he starts doing boy thoughts solo dolo. He says Clifford's on furlough, so it's just me. We're doing boy thoughts, and he's taking calls, Steve. He's got the phone lines lit up. He's like, let's hear it. Let's get a call in. And the first guy's like, hey, man, where's Clifford at? And that's really all he gets, Steve.
I mean, he's on hiatus. If you want to talk, you can talk to me. And then they just hang up. And then for a while, no one calls. Then eventually his aunt calls. He's like, man, who is this? Man, hold up. Don't get her off the phone.
Well, he offered $5, Steve. He's like, the lines are open. Nobody calls. He's like, $5. And I like his aunt will only call if it's $5, but then the call's like, oh, I'm so excited to see you. You look so sweet, my little baby Ferguson. He's not into it, Steve. He looks like shit. He throws a technical difficulty sign and like he's like, I gotta take a break. So he like jumps up. Clarissa and Olivia are the only people there. I don't know where these fucking sponsors are, but they're not happy. And he's like, you guys got to fucking help me, all right? I'm sitting out here eating shit. I look like shit out there. I know we have a bad relationship, but you can't let your brother get publicly embarrassed. And this is what Clarissa wants. This is like her dream, Steve. then they see he's like really in a bind, and you think they're gonna help him out, but they just like basically parade him, and they're like, "Hey, new show, dumbass in between two chicks live." And that's really all we see. I don't really know how it ends, Steve, but they hijack the show. Fucking Ferguson's got nothing, Steve. He's got his dick in his hand. No sponsors. Maybe Puppo just because he shot the ad, but I don't know.
And then later we find out Clifford is done with Boy Thoughts. And then while he's talking to the parents, Ferguson comes down and he's got this shirt. He's got a new show, Plush Thoughts with Mimsy Dimsdale. And now 3B Entertainment is 4B Entertainment.
It's a hit, Steve. It's like YouTube. Some lady knitting going into a mic is probably worth $1 million now. So he just kind of got on to he's going to be a hell of a YouTuber someday. He was in it decades before we had the internet. He figured it out. Put an idiot in front of the camera. Let him talk.
That following year, 1994, WWF is airing King of the Ring from Baltimore Arena in Baltimore, Maryland.
Vinceless, Steve. We don't got a Vince McMahon in this one. I mean, it's strange. I was expecting to hear it, but I guess he had neck surgery or something recently.
Well, that was a cover-up because this was the time when he was fighting.
Oh, okay. Yeah, he had neck surgery,
So,
Steve.
Gorilla had to step in for him. You hadn't seen Gorilla since, I think, that previous year's WrestleMania, but on the ones and twos, this is so memorable because of who's on the ones and twos. We got Gorilla Monsoon, Macho Man, and Art Donovan, Baltimore Colts legend.
Hi, guy. Where am I? Is that a seat? Also, Steve, I got to give a special shout out to the guy who sang the national anthem, who looked like he was like a Rockers fanboy, like a Shawn Michaels fanboy. I don't know. It was very White Snake video, you know?
Rick Medlock.
I thought he was just like a prisoner that could sing well, and they're like, get him out here. Yeah, dude, Art Donovan, he's a legend. We're going to talk more about him. Sometimes I just like be overcome by the Art Donovan spirit, and I just start talking like him, so he might come out every once in a while, Steve.
And they're making their picks in the beginning. Art thinks Razor Ramon's going to win. Macho thinks Diesel's going to win. And I think throughout this, Art changes his answer a couple of times, maybe, or at least one other time.
I don't know, Steve. I think he's pretty locked in on Razor most of the time because they keep giving him props like, this guy knows how to pick. You pick. That's like the only sentient thing that he said this whole broadcast was picking a guy. But it's King of the Ring, Steve. So this is a round by round thing. If you win, you've got to fight 3 matches. This is brutal, you know?
The first match is Bam Bam with Luna versus Razor Ramon, 2 contestants who were in last year's King of the Ring that we covered.
How much does that guy weigh? How much does that fellow weigh?
Yeah, he comes out with the toothpick.
What? I want him to get rid of that toothpick. Oh, he's going to do it soon, Art. Yeah. Luna Vachon looking insane as always. Really raspy, really cigarette smoky voice. Bam Bam Bigelow beat Sparkplug Holly. Razor beat a guy named Krang or Quang, who I think is Savio Vega.
Quang.
I think you've told me that before. It's not the brain from Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles guy. He beat Quang.
I can't stand to watch it. I don't know how
Is this how you guys acted when you were wrestlers? Whatever, Art. But Bam Bam Bigelow matches, he's the one fat wrestler who, him and Vader, I still like to watch. Like, he pulls like a spinning like jump kick thing that you wouldn't expect a 400-pound dude
blaster
to be able to pull off. But you know, Steve, Razor Ramon, he ain't going down. He's a bad guy who's the good guy at this point. He's the face. Everyone loves him. We love him. We love Scott Hall, and he wins, Steve. He wins that first match, 1 down. I was like sitting there like, is he going to fucking hit a razor's edge on this big fat dude? And we don't get that, you know, but it's expected. Are you going to try to lift that guy like that?
Todd Pettengill, he's backstage with IRS and Mabel, and they're supposed to be facing each other. IRS, he's kind of stuck on his words. You can tell he didn't practice this
you need
promo.
to learn your lines. I'm out of here. This guy steals stuff. Like, it's not good. It's weird. And Mabel, I get he's a big guy. I don't know why this man was pushed. I don't know. There's not a lot there, Steve. I respect to Mabel, Viscera, Big Vis, whatever you want to call them, all the AKAs, but I think it's goofy looking.
Vince was trying to tap into that hip hop community. Like it was 94, so it's nationwide now.
Yeah, dude. I'm gonna bust you up. Like he at least gets his line out good though. You know what I'm saying? Like he's not fucking up like IRS is, but
But when IRS comes out, Art's like, he looks like a businessman.
who is that guy? Is he a wrestler?
That's the whole point, Art. He's supposed to look like that.
It's an awful match, Steve. This is not a good match at all. It's a lot of like weirdness, stiffness. Again, I don't really understand what the thing was with Mabel, but he got a push and he won.
Is this the way he's going to wrestle with all his clothes on?
Is that a black guy?
I'm going to get out of here. This is dangerous. But IRS, he shakes him off the rope, and he gets a lame finish because big ass Mabel, he's flailing, like he falls off the top rope, then he starts flailing, and then he just gets the pin. Like, so it's like a cheap finish. But the next segment, Mr. Fuji and Jim Cornette with Crush and Yokozuna. And again, Jim Cornette is just on fire anytime a mic is in front of him, man. Like, I really appreciate his mic presence. He's one of the best talkers in the game ever to me.
Yeah, I mean, he's doing the legwork in this promo because everyone else sucks.
Of course.
Mr. He's like, we're over. You're late. Where were you? He's very pissed off that they're late, Steve.
The mastery of words on this guy, man. He really could teach some kind of like course. Dude is just that dope to me, man.
He's a promoter, dude. He's a fucking legend. And Yokozuna, you can say what you want, but Crush, dude. Especially this version of Crush. It's not even Surfer Color Crush. He went in and was like, please make me look kind of like I'm in Legion of Doom. Something. I need something here.
It's kind of, mid Crush. But the next match, we got Tatanka versus Owen Hart. And Tatanka comes, how much does Tatanka weigh?
He's a solid looking guy. He can play a linebacker.
He'd be a great linebacker.
And I wasn't looking forward to this match, Steve, other than Owen Hart being a part of it. But these guys work good together. Tatanka fucking showed up.
He doesn't get enough credit, man, because Tatanka, for what it's worth, he was a great worker. I think his gimmick just never appealed to me. I get it. Like, that's who you really are as a person, but
I announced team, you don't have to say Native American. You don't have to throw Native American Tatanka killing it right now. They said it like 1,000 times. It was like, we get it, okay? Native American Tatanka down on the mat, okay? God damn.
During this match, they cut backstage, and IRS and Razor Ramon are getting it in before the match even starts. So that, like, they do that quick cutaway. Art Donovan, he actually outlived both of those other guys that he's commentating with.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
I thought he was close to death while he filmed this.
Then, yeah.
Like I said, the match itself, though, fantastic. A lot of good back and forth. Owens, it just, I mean, we could say it so many times, but like, what he could have been ultimately, like he could have gotten to where like that Attitude Era was and stuff, like for real, like he did. But I'm just saying, like, we could have seen like the evolution. I think it would have been something amazing, but he kills it. Tatanka just throws everything at him, throws a bunch of cool moves, gets a lot of the little tomahawk chops in, which I love, does the little war dance thing, which is cool. It's better than like the shaking whenever you're like overcoming adversity in a wrestling match. I like this better. He's like channeling the ancestors, you know. It makes sense to me. I love it.
Summoning the gods. And Owen, he hits a little reverse and he gets the pin. Owen wins and he advances. And now Todd, he's backstage with HBK and Diesel. They just want to destroy Brett. Really, both of them. Neither of them like him. Shawn Michaels kind of like tooting his own horn a little too hard, even though it's supposed to be a
he has to pull back, but he throws a couple things in here. He's like, yeah, Brett keeps talking about who he's gonna bring to the match and this, that, and the other. He's like, nobody's gonna come. Nobody likes Brett. His whole family hates him. He just does funny shit.
Yeah.
But I will say, Steve, he gives fucking Diesel all the credit at the end. He's like, this guy's got the IC strap and he's about to be the next heavyweight champion. So Diesel's got the seal of approval, Steve. And he jackknifed the fuck out of Bret Hart on the King's Corner, I think is what it was. Apparently, Bret said it was the most painful move that's ever been put on him. So that's saying something.
And Diesel was actually the first wrestler to win the Triple Crown within 1 year. He was already the Intercontinental Champion. Him and Shawn would eventually beat the Head Shrinkers later that summer and get the tag team straps. And then he would win, beating Bob Backlund later in '94, all in the same year. So they were also having a big push for Diesel.
This guy could have been the face of the franchise. Looking forward to that match. Love seeing Diesel and Shawn Michaels together in anything. And Shawn Michaels just being this petty guy that he is. He's not even wrestling. He's just here to fuck around. And I love that.
The next match, though, is Jeff Jarrett versus 1-2-3 Kid. And Jeff Jarrett, happy Pride Month, by the way. And
yeah, dude. What the fuck?
Just got to note that, man. Like in art, again, who are we talking about? 1, 2, 3?
He looks like a boxer.
How much is he going?
Man, that Jeff Jarrett's got a hell of a tan. He must have been at the islands.
Yeah.
The match, it's not great. Jeff Jarrett's in full Double J mode with the insane outfit, the light up glasses, the hair game that's just Farrah Fawcett would blush, Steve. It's shit is 90 hair. I'll give him that.
Dude, speaking of how he looks, did you catch when Art Donovan called him a cutie?
Yeah, dude. He's a cutie. We'd pass that guy around like a cigar.
Whoa.
Me and Dick Buckus used to fuck a guy like that. I will say, I forgot the wrestling style of Sean Waltman because he always had like this martial arts sort of heavy combo. He would just like reverse people a lot. He's almost got a Bret Hart mixed with like Bruce Lee vibe, and you get a lot of that. But yeah, I mean, Art just constantly saying weird shit. Jeff Jarrett, you got to find out. There's got to be some way to track this down because you said you thought the guy who made Macho Man's outfits made Jeff Jarrett's. I don't think that guy would be making this shit.
Yeah,
it's like that bakery that would make the pride cake. He walked in and the guy's like, hell no, bro.
It's a little too Chippendales. 1-2-3 Kid, he gets the win with like a surprise roll up, but that's not enough. Double J, once he comes to, he gets up and drops Sean Waltman on his head. Not once, not twice. I think he dropped him on his head like 5-6 times.
Yeah. Pile drive the fuck out of him. Pause. The thing coming into this match, Steven, I think why he was so salty, if we're going by the storyline, is Jeff Jarrett was just kind of miffed that he was given this chud to go against because he's like, this is just a warm-up match. They kept saying that at the beginning. So he lost and he took it personally, Steve, and put 1-2-3 Kid. Well, we think he might be dead. He was twitching a lot on the mat, Steve. I don't know.
Yeah, we don't know if he's going to make it. But now Todd is backstage with Bret, and I swear, nothing is notable about this promo. This was always his Achilles heel. I love your work in the ring, but man, put a mic in front of him, he gets to stumbling and mumbling.
Dude. I don't get it. Like, once you got the moves locked in and you saw that, does the dungeon not have a fucking public speaking course? Fucking help him out.
Because that's part of the game. Like your dad, he trained all of you, the whole family, to be great workers. But man, there should have been a part of that basement where y'all had a little mic, little makeshift camera.
And when you're like, shit.
I got the belt, he doesn't.
We're live, bud. It's basically that moment, over and over again. He's like, he's gonna come down to my height. Sharpshooter. Bye.
He's gonna puke. But I found this pretty petty in Vince They did this promo before the next match, and it's out with the old, in with the new kind of deal. And the first couple wrestlers they show were like from old Bruno Sammartino and maybe like, I don't know, Pedro Morales, like Ventura or somebody. Then they had Hogan there. It's like,
Yeah.
damn, it's only been a year. And like, but I get it. I think he signed with WCW around this time.
Yeah.
And plus, like I said, Vince is a petty Virgo. And they show in with the new, and it's all like HBK and Brett and Razor and Diesel. But
Meanwhile, they got Art Donovan at the ones, and they got all the old people behind the scenes.
right.
It is what it is, but now it's Bret Hart, it's Diesel. Diesel comes out with Shawn Michaels. Art's like, who is that guy leading him? Is that guy another wrestler? And it's
Yeah.
Shawn Michaels. It's like, dude, don't they have like a picture book for you to see?
We left something out too, because one of the parts of the promo was, oh, who are you going to bring out with you? Because we know Diesel's going to have Shawn Michaels, and he's like,
yeah.
oh, I'm going to wait. I don't want to tease it. You guys will find out when I come out. And then the person that accompanying him is, of course, Jim the Anvil.
Ah! It's easy act out as always. But yeah, Steve, I mean, we got the Hart Foundation together, a little bit of a reunion. You know, he's
Yeah.
there. Jim Neidhart's body in 94 is one of the craziest bodies. It's like below the tits, something happened. Everything else yoked as shit, but he must drink a lot of beer, Steve, because this motherfucker is gutted
He was
out.
like a really good shot put guy back in his heyday, man.
He looks like a guy who would do some shit like that. He ain't running, that's for sure.
Tell me if you noted this, though. Now, last year when we covered King of the Ring, we noted something about Bret Hart specifically. And this year, I was waiting. I wanted to see what he was going to do for this year's King of the Ring. And again, the same exact scenario happened. There were a group, not just one black kid in the front row. There was a black boy and a black girl. He, like Moses parting the red, he's just like, get out of here. Hey, little
Not
white girl, here you go.
Ew, the white one.
Brett, you let me down, Brett. I got you on my Mount Rushmore, and like
I'm the excellence of execution, Steve. Black people make me uncomfortable, okay?
he's married to a black woman.
What?
Yeah, that's
Come on, Brett. Give
That's
these
your
cute
saving
little
grace.
black kids your glasses, you piece of shit. He does. It's willful ignorance, Steve. He's seeing past them to some other kid. I don't like that.
I wonder if she's wising him up if he watches those old matches. Like, why did you do that, Brett? Maybe he didn't know.
This one,
This is
you're
tough.
right there. You're looking at him. What was that about? That looks like the kid from fucking Angels in the Outfield, and you just looked right past him.
And you knew we couldn't afford to, like, you're not going to see a lot of us in the 90s up in the front row. Who knows?
Yeah, dude.
What it took. Like, man, that's one of his. Who knows if he's going to get that opportunity again?
Oh, Brett's heartless, Steve. He's not the Heartbreak Kid, but he should be because he was doing
that
shit.
at that moment he was heartbreaking kids.
Great match though. Weak finish, pretty good match though. Because what I loved about this is that Brett will get some momentum. He's going up against this gigantic dude, and every time you think Diesel's about to like go down, he'll just fuck Brett up hard. Just fuck his ass up.
It's like David and Goliath. Yeah, we know what happened in that story. Yeah, he hit him with a rock.
Oh my god, that guy looks like a fucking totem pole or something. He looks like Dick Butkus's kid. He's huge.
How much does that guy weigh?
Who is that guy with the blonde hair? Keeps blowing me kisses. It's a cutie. Our Donovan coming out of the closet slowly as this whole thing goes. And obviously Shawn Michaels is here. So, Neidhart's trying his best. But Shawn Michaels gets a lot of nice petty shots in on Bret here that I love. He slaps him in the face a bunch of times. He gets a nice couple punches in when the ref's like looking out the other way. He's running around avoiding Jim the Anvil Neidhart like Tom and Jerry. And I feel like Jim the Anvil Neidhart, once you start partying though, that's the vibe. And it's going to be a fun time,
Yeah, I feel like he would be one of the coolest hangs.
Match great, but Basically, the way this ends is very confusing because both these guys have a title. Brett's got the world title, Diesel's got the Intercontinental title. The IC belt's not up for grabs, but Brett's belt is. So we get near the end of the match,
Yeah.
and Jim the Anvil Neidhart, whose job it is just to basically protect Brett, gets a little overzealous and gets Brett DQ'd, Steve.
He said, "Fuck this shit." I love his energy in both this match and the one where Brett fought Owen in the cage. He was like, "Man, fuck this shit. I'm gonna get involved. I'm on some ball head hoe shit."
Oh, I'm not supposed to get involved. Yeah. I gotta move before
Real
my
Joker energy.
I'm gonna move before my heart fucking pounds out of my chest. Okay. Yeah. So basically, in the WWF, if you get DQ, you can't win a belt by winning by DQ. So
Right.
Brett doesn't win the match. Diesel does, but he doesn't get the belt. So the way it's painted is like, oh, Neidhart kind of like did Brett a solid, kind of. But what happens is then he, like, if you're just watching it, it looks like he gets like pissed off, Jim the Anvil Neidhart, that he like fucked the match up.
Yeah.
And he just leaves. He's like, shit. And just goes, he's like, my nose is dying of thirst. I got to get back to the backstage. So he leaves Brett fucking solo. And then Brett just starts getting pounded on. You know,
Yeah, they're
like
just
Art Donovan
destroying
in the
Brett.
locker room, just fucking.
That HBK, Deacon Jones would have slapped him with his slow pole back in the day. He's a cute.
What'd you say his move was called? Sweet Chin Music? He should just shoot a couple of gobs on my chin. Okay, Art.
Lawrence Taylor would have his way with him.
Bart Starr had a guy that looked like that chained up in his basement. It was crazy.
Johnny Unitas would wear him like a bowling ball.
But basically, dude, Brett just gets his ass beat. Neidhart's not there. He fails at his job ultimately because he's not there to help Brett out. And Macho, this has his fucking InfoWars like antenna going up because he's like, hold on, just stick with me here, brother. Why isn't Jim Anvil Neidhart out here, brother? The wheels are turning, and it does seem kind of suspect, Steve. That's your bro. Former tag team champions right there, and he just left his dude out on the fucking mat. It takes like 8 refs to get him off. Brett's pissed, but he's still got the belt. So ultimately, Neidhart might have done him a solid, Steve.
We cut back to another Todd segment. He's interviewing Jerry the King Lawler, and even though this is my least favorite of the 90s eras, or like probably my least favorite era, we needed Jerry. Jerry is one of the soldiers who kept us afloat. One of the first things he said is, "What's Art Donovan doing out there? What's he mumbling about?
Apparently, wisdom doesn't come with age."
His first job was parking covered wagons.
Yeah, and he's like, this event was named after me. Yeah. Why would I not be a part of it? And there's also something about him shitting on sick kids, like dying kids. I think he says something about dying kids and like shits on them, which it's classic fucking Lawler.
Classic villainry.
Comedy Jam legend of WWE. It's him. He's the one, Steve. He'll trash anybody.
Oh, because his matches with Roddy Piper. And I don't know if this is Jason's Sensation. I think it is. They might have been doing business with him like way before the Attitude Era.
I was going to ask. It's a skinny, it's a guy who looks sick, Steve. And Jason Sensation definitely looked like that. Next match, though, Steve, we're getting back into King of the Ring matches here. The semifinals. This is Razor versus IRS. Wait, the businessman's going up against the Latino guy?
That's his anyway.
Who is that guy? It's like you saw him wrestle already, Art. Shut the fuck up for us. But this match, Steve, you know, IRS for what his character was, not a huge fan. Guy can wrestle his dick off if he has a good opponent. It's a decent match. It's short, but what we do get is what we want to see, which is the Razor's Edge, Steve. We get that.
Oh yeah. And it's a crispy Razor's Edge too. The right man won for this. I mean, I'm anti any government official, especially when you're cosplaying as a government official, especially if that government official is an IRS representative.
Yeah.
Eat all kinds of dingaling.
What the fuck's in the briefcase, IRS? That's what I want to know. What is actually in there, Erwin? Like, I don't think, what tax doc? You just got W-2s in there?
Bilbos.
Sign this shit. Again, you got to put in. That's 2 down. He's right there. He can see the fucking that cool ass crown, Steve, that they got at fucking Party City.
Right. Or costume part, whatever it's called. But Brett, he's looking for Jim. They're cutting backstage, and he's like, man, knocking on every door, like going around every corner, like, man, Anvil.
Where are you at, Chip? This is the
You see
best
Anvil?
acting he's ever done, honestly.
Finally.
The scream he does when he's off screen is fantastic, but I was just like hoping he'd kick a door in and like Double J's just like whacking it. It's just like something fun, like, oh shit. Sorry about that. Is Jim in there? Where's Jimmy Anvil Neidhart?
How much does that guy weigh?
Yeah. Now it's on to another semifinals match, Steven. There's a little bit of questions rolling around this next match, which is Owen Hart versus the 1-2-3 Kid. Because we don't know if the 1-2-3, he's taken a lot of fucking blows to the head tonight. Double J, you know, like we said, he's pile driving him at least 5 times. Owen comes out. He's looking crispy. He's looking very refreshed. And there's a solid like 30 seconds where we're not sure if Sean Waltman's going to be able to make it, Steve.
And they're waiting. His music is on, but eventually 1-2-3 Kid comes hobbling down. But Owen, he sees this as an advantage, so he gets to it.
Yeah, he just kicks him right in the fucking head before he even gets in the ring, which I love. Evil Owen Hart's it's just a great villain. He's great.
Perfect.
He's
Yeah.
petty. He hates his family. He's like, yeah, fucking happy fucking Father's Day, Dad. He's just like the shitty kid.
His shitty brother.
But he's got all the talent, which is fucking fantastic. So this match, it's, again, I kind of referenced it before. Sean Waltman's like the reverse king.
Yeah.
He'll catch something, he'll roll you up a bunch of times. There's a lot of flipping and slipping. Owen Hart likes to do that thing where like you do the arm grab, but he'll flip out of it. Yeah, hell yeah. A lot of that stuff. And it's a good match. And again, the semifinals, I think it was designed this way. We get both of the great finishers because as good as the 1-2-3 Kid, we think he's going to pull it off because he actually gets out of his little funk. He starts kicking the ass of Owen a little bit. He gets a couple of karate kicks in. But eventually, dude, Owen just fucking hits that sharpshooter, Steve, and it's a crispy one. It's right in the middle of the ring. And our Donovan's like, what is that thing called? The sharp shifter? Soft shell crab? What is it? 1, 2, 3? Who is that guy?
Yeah, and Kid, man, he taps instantly. Now we cut to the Roddy Piper promo, and I don't know where he's at. I don't know if it's a hotel room, insane asylum, double A meeting. He's on that powder. I really think he's on that powder.
I see Jerry talking, saying all this stuff, bringing out some sick kid. You know what? I like that kid. I want to talk to that kid. I want to do business with that kid. I want to start a business with that kid. It's like, chill out, dude. He's there, Steve. He's like, he's a smart guy. He gives King a little props. And I'll say one thing about Rowdy in 94, bodied the fuck up.
He
Steve.
still got it.
He's looking like ready for Hollywood. He must have been on a shoot or something because dude's shredded. This is not just a sloppy Roddy Piper. This isn't the It's Always Sunny Roddy that we got late in life. He's ready to go, Steve. And he's got that fucking good in a baggie someplace in that dressing room, just keyed up.
Oh, you know, I keep that fire.
Wait, that guy's Scottish? Fucking yeah, Art. It's fine. Anyway, next match, Steve. This is the tag team championship match. Head Shrinkers, Samu and Fatu with Afa. And for some reason, Captain Lou's always got to be around here. Maybe because he speaks the same gibberish language that Afa speaks. I guess he didn't have to shoot Super Mario Brothers.
And then we got Yokozuna and Crush with Jim Cornette and Mr. Fuji.
How much does this guy weigh?
Is that... Wait, there's Chinamen in this thing? It's like gets real racist. Like, all right, dude. And he, surprisingly or unsurprisingly, obviously he has to ask how much Yokozuna weighs.
Of course.
Because that motherfucker's the size of a tank. One thing I kept thinking in this match, because it's not a great match, whichever one is Rikishi, Steve, whatever one turns
into Fatu.
Fatu.
Yeah.
How much fucking weight did this guy gain within like a few years? Because he looks like a normal guy in this. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's like Vince was like,
Not,
eat nothing but pancake batter, you fucking pig.
yeah, he's not like quite obese yet. At one point, Lex Express, he comes out. Who's the guy with the American flag?
Lex, and thank God they didn't hand the guy a mic because we know he can't work one. He looks like he's about to do aerobics or some shit. He's got this weird like onesie on that's a red, white, and blue that he just can't wait to peel off, Steve.
They
He
look
can't
like
wait.
those pants Crispin Glover wore when he karate kicked David Letterman back in the day.
Yeah. It's like something a ballerina would wear or some shit. It's very weird. He comes out just to like, I guess like talk shit because he's in it with
Crush.
Crush at this point. Great.
Yeah.
I remember him slamming Yokozuna, but apparently that's water under the bridge. But him and Crush got a little something going on. He basically causes the match to be lost by Yokozuna and Crush. It was going to happen anyway. But the one thing I will say, because I feel like Yokozuna avoided taking a lot of huge falls, they knocked him out of the ring and on his ass a few times on this, where I was like, okay. I mean, he's doing something out there. He's moving a little bit.
And then we go backstage with Todd again, and he's interviewing Owen. This gene wasn't shared with his brother Brett because Owen, unlike Brett, is killing his promo. He's just so perfectly fit for this character, for this role. The bratty little brother.
Maybe this was just, he's not even playing a role, Steve. He's just like, fucking Brett. Yeah, he was a loser tonight. You know who's not a loser? This guy. I'm going to be the king of the ring. And hey, by the way, Stu, happy Father's Day. Suck a dick.
Yeah.
Fucking hate you, Dad.
His match is up next against Razor Ramon. And I think Art does change his mind in this match. He's like, I think I'm going with Owen or something like that.
I'm going Rocket on this. That's the Latino guy, right? Great match. Razor Ramon. This is it, Steve. Scott Hall, this is like when it was all working. He's looking bodied up, impressive to look at. He hits all the moves you want him to hit except the Razor's Edge in this match. We needed this. We needed the King of Hearts, Steve.
I like the crispy choke slam he gives Owen. And Owen, at some point, he does like a nice top rope elbow. Shout out to Randy Savage. Actually, what won it was Jim the Anvil. You know, Brett couldn't find him. Now he's here. And he gets right to it. When the ref isn't looking, he just clobbers Razor.
I love how he has to like act nonchalant too, because he'll be like, and the ref will look over and he'll go,
Yeah.
Just put this. It's like, what are you even adjusting? So everybody's like, wait a second, like he's out here now, like Macho's going the whole time, like there's something about Neidhart that just doesn't sit well with me right now, brother. We gotta talk about this.
And after Anvil attacks, man, that gives Owen the opportunity to pin, and now he's the 1994 King of the Ring.
I did it. This is not going over well, Steve. We get a lot of "We Want Brett" chants. People are not happy to see this. Neidhart and Owen just start beating the shit out of Razor after they win too. So there's more of those shenanigans.
They actually give him the heart attack, the old school Heart Foundation finisher.
No signs of Brett, Steve. He's still looking for Jim backstage someplace, you know?
No comment for Ray Rougeau.
No. Hell no. I can't talk about it. I'm sickened by this right now. I gotta go. And I like Ray's like, sorry guys, back to you. Who is that guy?
Yeah, and they do cut back to the trio, and God bless Macho Man. And I don't know if it's the sunglasses helping, but I could tell he had patience because he had to do a lot of explanations, a lot of explaining throughout this event. But in this moment, though, Art, he asked, "Oh, were you guys doing all this when you were wrestlers?" Gorilla Monsoon looked straight, like dartingly at Art Donovan, and then ignores what he like. So, what were you saying, Macho Man? Like,
yeah, back to the real shit.
Gorilla is losing his patience. I don't know if you noticed that, man.
Hell
but
yeah! Well, they stopped reacting because at some point Macho was like, "Well, he's like 600 pounds." He would like humor Art Donovan a little bit, but by the end, I think both of them were like, Jesus Christ, does this guy know anything?
Give me 3 shots after this. God damn.
Yeah, dude. And then it's time for the proclamation, Steve. It's time for the coronation. The energy of Jim the Anvil Neidhart during this is so coked up and amazing. Owens giving proclamations. He doesn't want Jack Tunney, the president of WWE. He's like, I don't want this fucking guy. I want the only guy who I can count on. My guy, my plug, Jim the Anvil. Jim, let me do a key bump while you say some crazy shit real quick.
Like, did you see the extraness that Jim the Anvil had when he was like getting the crown? He's like,
yeah. He's very royal when he's handing like the staff to. He's like, oh, Your Highness.
Oh man, he was so great, man. R.I.P. to the legend, dog. I'm still a Jim fanatic. I love the Heartburn,
dude. All of them. But
All
he
of
was
them.
just like that. He was like just a junkyard dog of a dude with a bunch of like technicians. It was just like this guy that was just all fucked up.
I'm the ground guy. All these guys, they might get on the rope. I'm the ground and pound solid. Like I'm the lineman of the group. Y'all be receivers and quarterbacks. I'm just, I'm bumping with the ugly.
I'm muscle.
Yeah.
And he could rock a mic better than Brett. It was insanity, but I feel like he could do it. But this is it. I mean, Owen does tell the crowd, he's like, from here on out, you're going to call me the King of Hearts. The Rocket's dead. All right. I'm the fucking king now. So fuck you. I'm out. Let's go, Jim. Where's that baggie at?
I hate you. I hate you. I don't even know you. I hate your guts.
I'm the king. I am not a nugget. He's about to get a bunch of slammies too, Steve. There's greatness still happening here for Owen.
Greatness with Lawler because he comes with the mic talking about Piper. It's like, yeah, the guy with the dress, when he was born, his father wanted a boy. His mother wanted a girl. And they were both satisfied. His movie was so bad, people went to the drive-in and want their gas money back.
I don't know why they placed this match where they placed it, Steve. It seems like dumb fucking scheduling because the two old guys fight it. This is the new generation, and then it's two guys that are fucking like on their way out.
And that's the main event.
Yeah. But I will say again, Rowdy comes out. Not only does he have like all the Scotsmen in Baltimore here, he's got all the bagpipes. He comes out with I guess Jason Sensation or whoever this fake Roddy Piper is. Yeah. And now fake Rowdy is on Rowdy's side. He ain't kissing the boot anymore, Steve.
Throws Jerry off guard. Like, man, what the hell? Hold up, man. I thought you was Team Lawler. What's going on?
My side, man. We touched each other. Who is that guy? Is he a king? Is that the King of England?
Jack Lambert would have tossed his salad.
But the match for two old guys fighting, I thought it was fun. It's a little throwback. I love Jerry Lawler mid-match pulling some kind of, I'm assuming brass knucks or something from deep within his singlet. How he was running around that long and taking slams with that thing just nestled into his taint, I'll never know.
This old nuts. Ugh.
It's gross old balls.
Yeah.
Ugh. Rowdy, because another thing was Rowdy's given his winnings or whatever that you get when you win these matches to the sick kids of Canada, Steve.
Yeah.
So he wasn't going to lose. We thought it was going to happen, but then he pulls victory from the jaws of defeat after just being put sleeper hold after sleeper hold. Taint knucks to face, all of it. He overcomes, Steve. The Rowdy one.
That money didn't go to no sick. That money went to his
That money
kids.
was already sold from that promo coke that he did when he was
I like that kid. And
he's going places. I think I'm gonna do a pop-up restaurant. And it's just going to be powdered stuff, all powdered stuff, like astronaut food. It's going to be great.
But before it ends, we go to a Diesel and HBK vignette backstage. And HBK, he's talking a mile a minute, telling Diesel, yeah, You got a big future ahead of you as long as you stick with the HBK.
Uh-oh. This is only a matter. How many years did it take before Hall and Nash are gone, Steve? Was this the next year?
96 is when they join.
Damn, dude.
Yeah.
I kind of
Still
like
got-
that though. That's kind of dirty. Where they're like, "Yeah, we're the big dogs now," and then they're like, "Paycheck, bye." He is going places.
He
Sean's
will.
right, But our
He's done.
Donovan,
Yeah.
he's actually still in the Baltimore arena that they filmed this in. Where's the door at?
Where's that HBK?
Where's
Art
that
Monk
cute
would've-
Jeff Jarrett at?
Art Monk would have plowed that guy.
George Hollis had a fucking dong on him like Jarrett.
HBK would have loved that.
But in 1998, Mulan premieres. A girl hides her identity to take her father's place in the Imperial Army. Directed by Barry Cook and Tony Bancroft, starring Ming-Na Wen, Eddie Murphy, B.D. Wong, Miguel Ferrer, June Foray, James Hong, Pat Morita, and George Takei.
I love this movie. This was a
Did
Disney
you?
movie. I did. Like, if you go back and watch this, the animation and stuff, it's great. It's a kids movie. It's a Disney movie, but it's that like classic Disney style animation. It's not this big eyed like 3D shit.
The Disney formula, it never failed. I always appreciated the animation, but I'm basing it on the scale of the princesses and not just the princesses, like the movies from this era, from the 90s. I think Mulan, if she was invited to the Disney princess party, like Ariel and even Nala wouldn't let her sit at the table. Like, bitch, you did 200 mil. Like, bitch, we did 500 mil.
I
Belle,
like the villain though. The villain's scary in it. He's a badass. We get
Would be
Eddie
like-
Murphy in a Disney movie too, which I dug.
I'm here for that. Eddie Murphy. And the thing about that, bro, I looked at his filmography. There was always this thing like he fell off at some point. Like, bro, if you look at the ones he dropped in the 90s, I liked them. They might not have been commercially successful, some of them, but they consider Vampire in Brooklyn a fall off. It wasn't.
Hell no. That ain't a fall off. Also, Nutty Professor, those movies, while cheesy, were amazing.
But they looked at that as his resurgence. I think.
Oh, okay.
Like, dude, there was no drop off. Like, they look at Boomerang as failure. But anyways, man, I don't want to get too sidetracked. Mulan,
I won't stand for that.
yeah,
That's not
dude.
cool. We can't do Dag's in that movie. Martin's in that movie. We can't do
No.
that.
No slander of any of those, man. Like, Mulan, to me, it was mid, and I'm basing it on kid movie standards. After what I've already seen, the Aladdins, the Lion Kings, the Beauty and the Beast, even in '89 with Little Mermaid, like this was like.
I'm speaking retrospectively. Like at the time, '98, I didn't even see this shit, Steve. I didn't
either.
watch it. I was done. I was like, I'm a big kid now. I'm not watching this shit. I'm 15. No, wait. Was this 98?
This was 98. So we were 15. You're about to be 15, I think.
I'm about to drive.
Yeah.
I'm already watching fucking Playboy Channel. I can't be watching Mulan. But if you watch it, I love like samurai shit, and I love the animation in this. And I do think like the villain is one of the better and scarier villains that Disney ever put out.
Is that based on Genghis Khan?
Yeah, I think that was probably. It's just a gigantic yoked like samurai dude that he just looks like a zombie almost. Like he looks very cool. So yeah, all that. Is it like where it stacks in like Disney movies, especially from our time? It's not even close to like Lion King, Aladdin, any of those.
And that's all I'm saying, man. I got spoiled. We got spoiled in the late 80s, early 90s, and watching Mulan, I was like, man, this just doesn't. It's missing that. I don't know. I can't even put a name on it.
Well, you know what? That's what opinions are for, Steve. It's not always going to be 100%, but it's not a bad movie, But that's tough to. It's tough to stack up against classics like the ones that we're talking about,
Yeah, man. But what are the callbacks for this week, or are we quizzing?
I think we should quiz, Steve. Let's do it. Or we're going with your quiz.
Are we? We're
can
already.
I got the cards out right now, Steve. So if we want to go,
we're at 1:30.
Okay, we'll shorten it up. I'm gonna cut the deck. This is random, Steve. This is magic. So Oh yes, Steve, this is a winner. You're gonna do it. I feel it. Feeling good. And here we go. Which boy band was Justin Timberlake formerly a member of?
Insane.
Nice. Now taking it across the pond, Steve.
Oh
This is
god.
for all the marbles. Which Swedish band had a 1993 hit song titled The Sign?
Ace of Base.
Boom, baby! Boom!
Shakar Chaquan.
Hell yeah, dude. That's it. I was wondering. I was like, that might be a forgotten one. That might just fall by the wayside because of stoner, like, being a stoner, but you did it, Steve. You're a
Oh
champion.
man, I'm probably the biggest Ace of Base fan that you'll know personally.
I saw the sign. Steve opened up his eyes and saw the sign. What are those Swedish people saying, Steve?
I want you that way.
What about you, dude?
Really, it's just Sakar Chaquan and all those other fucks, man. Whatever account you're under, eat a D.
Eat a
Eat a
big
D.
old sack of dicks. Eat a bag of baby dicks, motherfucker. Yeah, I mean, suck it. And I'm glad that whatever you're doing now has nothing to do with us. And we're going to forget your shitty fucking name soon. And before I say anything really offensive, I'm just going to stop. So fuck you guys.
And please like, share, subscribe, and comment. Please tell your sister, happy Juneteenth. This is Steve G and Mad G with
Happened in the 90s.
Matt was the fat kid, Steve was the flat kid. Life wasn't always great, but you know what was? The 90s.